Fox News. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden ripping President Trump over this.
He lied to the American people. He knowingly and willingly lied about the threat it posed to the country for months.
The losing streak on Wall Street is over, the Dow gaining 439 points. This is USA Radio News.
Can the daily recommended servings of fruits and vegetables fit into just 6 capsules? Yes. We start by sourcing organically grown whole fruits and vegetables. We ensure they are picked at peak ripeness. All of our produce is third-party tested for pesticides, heavy metals, bad bacteria, and nutrients. They are then washed, cut, and put through an advanced vacuum cold process which removes the water using pressure. This maximizes the nutritional value while preserving the color, smell, and taste of the fruit or vegetable. The freeze-dried food is then ground into a fine powder without adding any additives, fillers, or extracts. These powdered foods are then mixed in our proprietary blends and encapsulated, locking out air and moisture. The capsules are then bottled and shipped directly to our customers. Balance of Nature is now offering 35% off on any new preferred order. Go to balanceofnature.com today and use discount code USA.
The United States will soon have troops in Iraq at levels not seen in 5 years. The top American commander in the Middle East, General Kenneth McKenzie, telling reporters today troop strength will be reduced from 5,200 to 3,000 during September. South Dakota Republican Governor Kristi Noem is dismissing a report suggesting the Surges motorcycle rally was a super-spreading event for COVID-19 that cost billions of dollars in health costs.
You know, other states are tracking cases. I think we have 11 other cases that have tracked, people that have traveled to the Sturgis motorcycle bike rally, but it's less than 300 cases. And I think that is really what's wrong with this study that we see that was released that the media jumped all over.
Governor Noem speaking there on Fox News. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says the Senate Republican stimulus bill misses a mark. The California Democrat telling MSNBC the bill does nothing. This is USA Radio News.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All-American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-610-5739. 800-610-5739. That's 800-610-5739. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden in Warren, Michigan, talking about bringing jobs back to the United States.
Back in July, I made the first plank of my agenda a plan to modernize American manufacturing and technology to ensure that the future is made in America by all of you. And today, I'm announcing some additional steps to make this plank even stronger. First, we're going to impose a tax penalty on companies that avoid paying U.S. taxes by offshoring jobs.
The Trump campaign has shifted President Trump's events to smaller venues after several campaign aides tested positive for the coronavirus ahead of the president's trip to Tulsa, Oklahoma in July. White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany defending the president's decision to hold political rallies during the pandemic.
People have a First Amendment right, if they so choose, to show up and express their political opinion in the form of a peaceful protest, which is what the president held. And there's a real double standard here. CNN had on a guest, apparently a doctor, Rob Davidson, who said, now, true, there are social distancing issues with regard to the protests we've seen around the country. However, this is a public health crisis. They are marching against systemic racism. So if you're allowed to march in aggregate in those protests, you're also allowed to show up at a political rally. You have a First Amendment right in this country.
For USA Radio News, I'm Tim Berg.
The following is an America Matters media production. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the station or its advertisers, although we think they should. But that's the opinion of America Matters Media.
Episode of City Talk, where the About Town Deb. I am Debbie McCarthy. We're a production of America Matters Media. That's America Matters Media. .us, americamatters.us. You can also find me at About Town Deb on Facebook. And I'm just not going to use this. You can find us on all platforms. But today, guess what? I am at Crystal Basin, El Dorado Wine Country on Carson Road. And you can see I have a variety of wine bottles out here. And there's a few more that we don't have, but you can find out more about all those later. Today, we're going to be talking about Sample the Sierra. And I will be introducing Emily in. And I just want you to be patient because I can't see anything except a little camera on the iPhone. So I know we have Emily with Sample the Sierra with Tahoe Chamber, and I'll introduce her a little bit more in a second. I know we have Dean Hyatt, one of our chefs, who has been participating and participated this year with Pour Reds. And you're going to be seeing more about him a little bit after the show. We're going to be going and showing you what they're doing for Sample the Sierra. And then Mike Perrin, who has been a co-host before, will be joining us as well. And we're going to have Lucas with Bentley Heritage Ranch, but he has an ear thing going on, so we don't get him. And then Mike Owen with Crystal Basin, this is his winery. We were going to have Chris fill in for Mike. And I just want to tell everybody, we're so, our hearts go out for all the fires that are not only in California and Washington and Oregon, Nevada. This whole part of the world is really struggling right now. And not just the fires, the heat, the blackouts, the rolling blackouts. And Chris from Crystal Basin, Chris Scott, he's part of the fire crew. So he was called out the last main fire, and they gave him not more than a week off, and they called him back out. So he's at the main camp where everybody gathers, and he prints out all the maps for all the firefighters. And I was going to have him chime in and, tell us a little bit about that. But I really do want to thank him because I know it's a lot of dedication, and we just feel for our firefighters. And it's just horrible. And all the other stuff that's been going on. I want to give a shout out to the Carey House on Main Street. They were hosting Jazzy, George, and I for the last 2 nights. And so last night, there was no power at the Carey House, which is haunted. So if you notice my Facebook page, on my personal page, Debbie Forrest McCarthy, you will see that we had orbs around us. And we made it through the night. All is good. And the power's back on. So we're hoping the power stays on during the show. It came on, perfect timing. And then Ambiance, Elvira, little shout out. You can see my dress. I got a new bralette, and I have earrings, and I was supposed to not wear the watch to make it look better, and my necklace, and I'll be sharing more about that. And I also was able to get another dress for another event I'll share more about in a few weeks. So Ambiance is like 2 doors down from the Carey House on Main Street. They have all like the cool brands that you would even want. Everything is there, not just shoes, dresses, jewelry, gift items, hats, everything you would want, and they will style you. They even have a seamstress, like if you need to take something in. So I want to thank you because Placerville and El Dorado Wine Country always welcomes me with open arms. So I'm very grateful. Okay. And the other thing that I just want to give you a shout out to as well is that I can't see a clock. So bear with me. I will be getting a text from our engineer. So if you see me looking down, that's why. I just want to be upfront so people know, why is she looking down? I don't want to go out. So with my guests who are on, I may say, hey guys, 2 minutes, or I may do these hand signals so you'll know to wrap it up. You're getting to see what it's like behind the scenes and in front of the scenes right now. So I also want to give a shout out to the Tahoe Club, the Tahoe Beach Club. I was able to go there on Saturday for their Labor Day celebrations. And I tell you guys, you cannot beat it. It's a private membership. They have condos. It's heaven. So check out my Facebook page for that, and you go to TahoeBeachClub.com. So I think we should get right into Sample the Sierra, which is amazing, and we've had to change things up a little bit this year. And Emily Abernathy, who is the director of operations at the Tahoe Chamber, is going to be. She is joining. You can see her, but I can't. And then we also have Mike Perrin co-hosting with me, the one and only Mike Perrin. He is like a huge part of Tahoe, does tons of events. I will let him tell you where he's at, because I'm pretty sure he's at one of our spots you want to visit as well. And then, as we mentioned, Chef Dean Matthews with Poor Reds will be telling us about his experience. So I'm not sure on my time, so I think I just got a message. So we're just going to check that right now, so I make sure we do it right. Because I have a feeling it's almost time for break. It's almost that time. So with all of that said, when we come back, we're going to go right to Emily. And well, first to Mike. We're going to go to Mike, and then we're going to go to Emily, and then we're going to go to Chef Dean. So once again, it is About Town Deb. You are listening to City Talk. I am at Crystal Basin in their barrel room. So hang tight, and we will be right back.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, please, have a seat. So here's the thing. When this company brought you on, we took a chance on you. You didn't have that 4-year college degree we typically look for.
Right.
But we gave you a shot anyway. And since then, you've worked incredibly hard and given it your all.
Thanks.
You've been an important asset to the team, but I don't think you can be an intern here anymore. We want to hire you.
You're serious?
Absolutely.
Find your next great employee. Introduce yourself to the Grads of Life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
I won't let you down.
I know.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
So here's the choice. Some people say the USA is finished. It's evil, a has-been, full of hate and injustice. The U.S. Constitution should be trashed and the Bill of Rights abolished. No free speech, no gun ownership. Competition and free markets are bad. We're all too stupid. For our own good, the government must own everything and know all your secrets.
Other people say that America has created the freest, richest, happiest, most generous society that has ever existed in the world. That's why millions of people are desperate to come here and escape their brutal lives in Cuba, Venezuela, North Korea, and 100 other countries.
In America, we have the right to succeed, the right to our own living, the right to have a family, the right to believe in God, the right to have our own ideas, the right to be safe and secure, and the right to be left alone.
Where do you stand? Help us save the Constitution and restore the American dream. Go to SaveMyFreedom.com.
Brought to you by the American Media Council.
Rich is just a really good guy. The term good egg isn't enough to describe him. He's also certified organic and free range. Rich puts the cap back on everything. The toothpaste, the olive oil, the shampoo, everything. He lets his 10-year-old nephew beat him at virtual tennis, even though he can straight up slay his 10-year-old nephew in virtual tennis. When the toilet paper is running low, Rich replaces the roll on the actual holder, not just on the back of the toilet. Rich is texting and driving. Rich, no. What are you doing, Rich? I was just telling everyone how great you are. Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station, the power of radio since 1967.
Want to expand your advertising dollar? Sponsor this or any America Matters program by calling 775-827-8900, extension 2. Now back to the show.
And welcome back. It is About Town Deb. Welcome back to our second segment. And now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes. Actually, there were some meat and potatoes involved with Sample the Sierra. So, Emily, I would love you to tell us about how long Sample the Sierra has been going on, what it's normally like for those of you who may not know about it and where it normally is and what we're doing this year, because we've had to pivot. And then we'll bring us into the chef's competition because we have Chef Dean on as well.
So yeah, this is our 11th annual Sample the Sierra Festival. And this year, yes, it looks very different than our past 10 years. Last year, we got to celebrate our 10th anniversary. And the way it usually is it's a beautiful tasting event up here in South Lake Tahoe in Bijou Park. We have tasting tents featuring local restaurants, and they've all prepared samples using local ingredients, and then those are all paired with a local wine, spirit, or beer from the region as well. So that's what the event typically looks like in a normal year. But this year we've done what we can to basically highlight our businesses in a variety of ways, including our annual Chef Challenge, which Chef Dean participated in. And so, I'll let you guys talk about that.
Okay, well, I gotta tell you, Mike Owen, Crystal Basin, was normally one of the MCs, and I'm excited that Mike Perrin and I were the MCs. And how cool was it for me to go and see Chef Dean and all the other amazing chefs that I adore? I got to meet 2 new chefs, and it was so much fun. But Chef Dean, I would love you. We love Core Reds. So tell us how many years this is your first year? I know it's at least your second year competing. We can't tell you who won, so nobody gets to know that yet. But tell us what is it like competing for the second year, or maybe it was the third year? Tell us a little bit about that and how you felt. What was different between you being up on the stage at the park with everybody watching versus us coming in, and amazing film crew, by the way. Emily did a great job setting that up. So tell us a little bit about yourself as well, and tell us what to expect.
Wow, so much to cover, so little time. It was my second year competing. To be totally honest, this is an event I've been trying to break into since I found out about it 7 years ago. So when I kind of reached out to Emily last year, she was like, "We'd love this. Someone from the West Slope come be a part of it." And I was absolutely honored and humbled that I was even allowed to compete last year, let alone even be on the ground with 1,500 people. It's kind of, whenever a chef gets in the kitchen and does any kind of competition, all the nerves kind of go away the second you get behind your station. You get your knife, you see your protein, you have an idea of what you're going to do. This year, it was both. It was equally hard as it was equally easier. I knew what to expect a little bit. I got to go up against Chef Lonnie. Chef Lonnie last year, he's won second year in a row, won both years. He's going up again this year, so he's the man we all wanted to compete against, and he's the guy that we all wanted to kind of take on. So that was fun. Not having 1,500 of your closest friends and family, that was a bit of a challenge. But honestly, the way that all of us kind of dug into joshing each other and walking around each other's station and kind of throwing the ball back and forth, that was really that part made it more fun for sure.
The part I liked, because I've never been an MC before, but I was so nervous going into it, but being there with Mike, who's a pro, Mike Perrin, it was really comforting to know that I had an expert with me who's done it before. But I love the idea of watching you guys together, the chefs. You guys were so complimentary of each other, where, like, I know Chef Lonnie's like, "Hey, I need that." He'd come to your table and grab something. And you guys were sharing the bar.
Yeah, if you're battling with a protein. So if I'm not going to use all of something, I'm going to give it to somebody else. I mean, listen, we all want to win, but we all want to win competing against the best at their best. So if somebody's missing something, we're going to share it. We're going to loan it. He didn't have a mandolin. You can have it. I didn't have foil. He did. He needed a piece of salmon. Take it. If I'm going to lose, I want to lose because somebody brought their best, not because we were shortchanging each other. And that's the greatest part about all of this is, yeah, every restaurant, we're all competitors on the front side of things, but behind closed doors, if somebody was to call me and say, "Hey, I'm down. Can you send me somebody to help prep, or can you send me a bunch of trash bags? Do you have salmon? Do you have anything that I could borrow?" Absolutely. We're always going to do what we can to support each other, because not only is it good karma, it's just good business. And that's, restaurants are family. And I think Emily knows that firsthand by working with all of us for the last 10, 11 doesn't have something, we're going to loan it out. We're going to help jump into someone else's kitchen and do that. So that's kind of what we do.
So the other question I have for you, I was noticing that, well, now let's go back to this. So I don't know, Emily, is he allowed to share what he cooked? Can we share that?
Not yet.
He can't share that, okay.
No.
Okay, how about this?
No surprise until Saturday.
Okay, I'm trying to think, Emily, is there something, a little tidbit that we could share, like about how it went or how the contest goes?
Yeah, so
How about
here's
you
something
share a
I
little
would
bit of-
like to share. So this year we because we had 2 returners, I wanted to make it a little more of an even playing field for everybody, the other chefs that have not competed before. So we threw in a twist this year that we've never done before. Our sponsor, Bentley Heritage, their spirits are amazing. So we decided to change it up instead of just using mystery produce, we actually included a mystery cocktail that the chefs had to use or to pair their first round of dishes with. So none of the chefs were expecting that. I wasn't really expecting it either, but I thought it would be fun, and it was a great way to highlight Bentley Heritage as well as give the chefs that have been there before something completely new and kind of even that playing field.
Well, you know what? Speaking of Bentley Heritage, I would love to give a shout out to Lucas Huff, and he is the director of brand advocacy at Bentley Heritage. And I don't know, Emily, I also saw a little tidbit that we want to congratulate him. Was he one of the 40 and under 40 Chamber of Commerce?
Yeah, actually, yes. Lucas was a 40 under 40 this year. That's something that we do to acknowledge our up-and-coming leaders up here in Tahoe. And he is not only a 40 under 40, he's one of our Tahoe Chamber board members. He's a great supporter of the event, and he is a great brand advocate for Bentley Heritage. You got to check his Instagram page out. He's pretty creative.
Yeah, but like I say, he really wanted to be here, guys. And I told him that we love him and we miss him. And we hope his ear infection gets better. But just because he couldn't be there, I want to know that he's in our hearts and he's in our prayers. And we had so much fun with him. Was he not the best? Like you say, he's a great brand ambassador. So we had fun with him as well. So, Dean, were you surprised with, you can't tell us what your mystery stuff was yet, but did any of it throw you off?
Oh man, I don't know if I want to let that out of the bag. I really want to compete next year, and I don't want him to throw something even harder.
Don't give me any ideas.
Yeah, you know, there's always a few things that are always going to throw you for a loop. It doesn't matter what it is, but I know I can tell you that before the competition, Lonnie and I were kind of in the corner going like, "What do you not want to get?" Like, "Oh, I don't want to get this." He's like, "Yeah, I don't want to get this either." Oh my gosh, we were more counting on the stuff we were hoping we didn't have to get than the stuff that we were going to get, which is a very short list. But I'll leave it there.
What's on that list, Steve?
Well, you know, I I love the part where we said, okay, go. And you guys all went to your stations, and then it was so exciting to see the energy in the park, not a room. It's, what would it be, the outdoor plaza?
Gazebo?
It was just gazebo. Yes, it was amazing. I just love the energy, like say the camaraderie, whatever that word is.
Camaraderie.
I also that everybody had different, like some were barbecuing, some were blending. There were so many different tools, kitchen tools, and how they cook things and boil things, and everybody just had such a unique way of cooking. I like that. So we're down to almost 2 minutes. Emily, can you give a shout out to some of the other chefs while we're talking about chefs?
Yeah, so like we mentioned, Chef Lonnie with Edgewood, he is our 2019 winner. So he came back, of course, to defend his title. And then we had two newbies this year. Tashana Grube with Coldwater Brewery. She's their new executive chef. She was new to the competition this year, as well as Nico. He is the owner and chef at Gastromaniac, a new Italian restaurant here in South Lake, and he was new to the festival as well as the challenge. So two newbies against these two seasoned chefs. So we're really excited to air this on Saturday. to show who
I know it's
on the title.
So, do we know what time yet on Saturday, or is that still a secret? Do we know?
No, we are airing it at 4 p.m. and you can find it on our Sample the Sierra Facebook page, our samplethesierra.com website, and then of course all of our partners that will be sharing it. It'll be hopefully all over the internet on Saturday at 4 p.m. so you can easily watch.
Well, I'm excited I am so excited, and Emily, thank you. It was such a blast and such an honor to be up there because I love Tahoe and I love all the chefs and I love the wineries. And so Chef Dean, Emily, can he tell us what he's cooking for their special for the restaurant week? Can you share that?
Absolutely, yes. Please do, Dean.
Oh, okay, all right. So now we get to the meat and potatoes of it all. So
yeah, the rest of it.
So for Restaurant Week, it kind of gives us a little bit more of an opportunity because we can do a little more having it in our restaurant versus being in the field. So I'm going with a 12-ounce mesquite grilled blackened spiced New York steak on a bed of creamy grits with potato twills. We're going to have a 24-carat farm pico de gallo, which we're going to make here in house. We're also going to use a chili lime compound butter to go on top of that steak as well. So we're going a little more of a southern influence, but like everything else that's barbecue, it's more of a Tex-Mex kind of thing. So it's going to fit really well.
Okay,
I'm gonna have to drive down there just for that.
I'll meet you halfway.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of hoping that tonight Jordan and I are going to get a sample of that, and we'll be taking some photos, and we'll be doing a separate interview with you as well. But we're going to take another quick break. We want your feedback. Please do us a big favor and head over to About Town Deb on Facebook. Share a comment. But Jazzy George is manning this, so we may not be able to get to your comments till after the show. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. It's About Town Deb, a city talk, talking to my favorite Sample the Sierra piece.
Hi, this is Eddie Floyd. Let me tell you about my favorite non-profit public charity, Wainema Wild Horse Sanctuary, located on the Forsyth Ranch in Hallelujah Junction area. And please go to www.wainemaranch.com. That's WYNEMA ranch.com.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
As humans, we ask ourselves all kinds of questions. But what if we were forced to ask ourselves a question every day that affected the outcome of the most basic things, the most important things in our lives? The question is, what is your sexual orientation or gender identity? And the answer is the difference between keeping your job or getting fired. The answer is the difference between staying in your home or getting evicted. The answer is the difference between receiving medical treatment or not. Because in 31 states, it's legal to discriminate against people based on their answer to this question. LGBT Americans have the right to say I do, but they don't have the same basic rights as everyone else. Get the facts at beyondido.org. Brought to you by the Gill Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hey, this is Reba McEntire, and I wanted to talk to you about a serious problem right here in our own backyard.
Did you know that there are nearly 16 million kids struggling with hunger in America? That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks collects surplus food, engaging their communities in solving hunger and giving hope to hungry kids and their families. But they need your help. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
Unable to listen to the whole show? A recording of today's program will be available later today. Visit americamatters.us and click on the podcast link. Now back to the show.
And we're back for the third segment of City Talk, and I'm About Town Deb. As I mentioned, we are, well, I may not have mentioned, but we are interactive. So head over to the About Town Deb page, make a comment. We might be getting back to you after the show because Jazzy George is manning the camera and we're on location. But we will be looking at the comments afterwards. If you have a favorite El Dorado winery, a favorite Tahoe restaurant, if you've been to sample this area, if you have a comment you want to tell us, your favorite member, go ahead and leave those comments and we will all be chiming in. You can also call us at worldwide at 844-790-TALK. That's 844-790-8255, or chime in on any of the watch parties. And you can also watch it after the fact when we can all watch it together. So Emily, we've been talking, Chef Dean, thank you for taking the time, and with Emily. So I would like Emily to share with us some of the restaurants. If you have any ideas what their specials are, let's go ahead and chat about the restaurants we can visit.
So we have created a Farm to Fork Restaurant Week that kicks off tomorrow, September 10th, and goes all the way through September 20th. So we've got 16 restaurants participating, most of them here in South Lake Tahoe, with the one exception being Dean down there on the western slope, the only brave enough restaurant down there to participate, and we really appreciate that, Dean. We know it's hard.
I love it.
Thank you. But yeah, there's a bunch of different restaurants participating, and depending on what you're in the mood for, we've got like Beach Bums Bar and Grill. They're offering a tri-tip sandwich, and they're pairing it with a Dirty Wookie Imperial Brown Ale from the Brewer's Cabinet in Reno. So we've got some pairing menus like that, a little more casual. But then we've also got some more fine dining menus as well. Riva Grill is offering a prefix menu. Gastromaniac as well, offering a prefix menu. All of these menus are either paired with a local wine or created with a local product. All of that is available on samplethesierra.com. You can see all of the menus. And again, it's going to be available September 10th through 20th.
Well, I cannot wait, and I'm hoping, so stay tuned, because Emily and I have a little surprise. We're hoping that Jazzy George and I next week can visit a few of the Tahoe restaurants and do a little interview, so you can get a sneak peek to see why you need to be going up there. Like I said, we will be doing a sneak peek with Dean after the show, so that's exciting. But I really feel like I just want to give a shout out to all the restaurants who are participating. Because you know what, guys, they're struggling right now, and we need to support them. And since I wish we could be there at the park in Tahoe, and I love when you have the wine right next to the food and you get to taste it together, and we just can't do that right now. But it's important that if we are able to get over the hill, for us people who are in Reno or Sacramento, to do that. But if not, visit their websites. If you're doing the winery thing, visit, order online, or do takeout, but please support them. We're so grateful that they've been a part of Sample the Sierra for so long. And our new people that have joined in, is amazing as well. So Dean, do you have any tidbits you want to share with us before we go on to the wine? Or can you tell us which wine you're pairing, and then we'll go on to some of the wineries?
I can't say which one I'm pairing yet, because I'm still waiting on one more option.
Okay, well, we'll hold off on that.
But Yeah, I mean, you touched so many great points. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of restaurants that are definitely struggling, that need every kind of help we can. And that kind of goes back to the last segment about restaurants helping restaurants. And if you get a chance, go out, go to a mom and pop shop, take care of everybody you possibly can and take it with you. And yeah, it's not the best situation for us all restaurants to be in, but let's make the best of it, and do what we can and take family and friends. Ultimately, these restaurants employ so many of our local, local community members. For Reds, we employ 50 employees, and I think I live the farthest away, and that's, I split time between Orangevale and Minton. Everybody else is from El Dorado, or they're from Diamond Springs or Placerville and whatnot. And, Tahoe is hurting, and now, you've got the road that's going to be closing here in the next week or two, and then that's more of a challenge. So just get out, go enjoy as much as you possibly can, and just try to support everyone that's possible. I don't know what else to say about that. It's just, that's all we can do at this point.
Yeah, and it's not just I don't like to say that word, the pandemic. Now we have the smoke, and we have the fire and the power stuff. So the restaurants are and I can just attest to it being in Placerville. Half the street was dark last night, and we were at the Carey House and it was dark. The other half had power. So the restaurants, some of them have backup generators, and they're only half capacity. Like, they don't even have enough power. And then some don't have any, and some of them are losing their food that they need to, get it refrigerated. So now more than ever, I wish we could all be together like we normally are for Assemble the Sierra. So please, please, please check out that website. And Emily, what is the website for them to check everything out?
Very easy. SampleTheSierra.com. You can see all the 16 restaurants that are participating and have created a unique menu for the week. And yeah, this is a great time to support our restaurants. And that's why we did not just cancel Sample the Sierra. We wanted to support the businesses that have supported the event for the last 11 years. So please help us by supporting them. Order a menu item over the next 10 days. Check out our wineries. Check out our artists. All on SampleTheSierra.com.
Yeah, I love that. And speaking of all the other people, can we give a shout out to some of the sponsors? That would be a good time to do that.
Absolutely. Thank you for reminding me, because that is the reason that we are continuing to have an event as well. We do have some sponsors that have generously stayed on with us. One of our biggest sponsors is Advance. It's a program up here. They have actually a Tahoe Culinary Academy is what they call it. And they actually train up backline workers, and to the point where they become executive chefs, just like Dean. It's a very important program for us here in Tahoe, because the food service industry is a huge industry for us. It's a huge part of our economy, and there's growth in that industry. So the Tahoe Culinary Academy helps people get to that next level in that career. And we just want to thank them for continuing to sponsor this event, and as well as Bentley Heritage. They have continued to sponsor this event so that we can still produce some content for people to tune into and support our businesses. Those are our two major sponsors, and we could not do it without them. Not to forget to mention El Dorado County, who supports this event and helps us produce it every year. We are committed to the county to produce this event so that we highlight all of our businesses in the county, our restaurants, our breweries, our wineries, our agricultural providers. All of them are part of this event because of El Dorado County, and they give us some support to produce it. So thank you to them.
Well, hey, so, don't stop there, Emily. All of this is because of you as well. You have really taken the time to make this a world-class event. So thank you for putting this together for all of us. It means the world. It really does.
Well, I got to say, the last few years that I've been there, and you and your team are the catalyst that keeps everybody together. You're the glue, because I have produced events before, and it's not an easy task, and all the personalities and the businesses you're working with, and keeping everybody happy and pairing the right people together. You've got it down, and the way you pivoted, like everybody else, you've done an amazing job, and we're very blessed to have you, to have this event continue. So we definitely want to thank Emily and your whole team for making it happen. And also, let's give a shout out to our media sponsors, because I know quite a few of them, And I'm grateful to do a lot of partnering with. I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to Getaway Reno Tahoe, Todd and Megan and his crew, because I do a lot with them as About Town Deb. And I'll let you thank some of the other ones.
Well, yeah, thank you. Those are media sponsors. They help us with getting the word out. And Deb, thank you for all you've done for us this year, and then last year as well, and the year before. It's been a great partnership with you. We can't thank you enough for coming up to MC the Chef Challenge. That is a feat in itself, and you did a great job. And then, of course, we have our local media sponsors, Tahoe Daily Tribune, Lake Tahoe Television, Tahoe Weekly, like you said, Getaway Reno Tahoe. Those are our local sponsors that allow us to keep promoting when times are tough. Our budgets are strapped thin, and luckily we have these partners to help get the brand out there and give our businesses the exposure that they need.
Well, I also feel like right now, it's like we've talked about the restaurants. I love that your media partners and all partners have come together and said, we totally understand. How can we help you? It's so important that we do that. And I'm one that's grateful for that. It's almost time for our final break. And I'm going to bring Deb over here from Crystal Basin. Come on, Deb. I'm just going to bring her over. Come on over. So this is Deb. She is representing Crystal Basin because Mike couldn't be there and Chris is off not fighting fires, but helping the firefighters in the process of fighting firefighters. So we have a little bit under a minute, but you're going to stay for the next segment as well. So I just want to say thank you for letting us host all the interviews here today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for doing everything that you're doing for Sample the Sierra.
Well, also, I love that. Who does not love El Dorado wine area? Come on. This is like, of course, plus Tahoe. I get to go to Tahoe next week and promote some of the restaurants. So I'm one happy camper right now. I guess I wouldn't be camping now, but I am very grateful. So we're going to take our final break and we're going to come back and we're going to share a little bit more about maybe some other partners and what other venues and things that are happening during this coming Sample the Sierra. I'm About Town Deb. I'll be right back.
At Northern Nevada Family Dental, we are proud to announce a wide range of advanced dental services by way of the Photona Lightwalker Laser. The Lightwalker Laser can efficiently and effectively treat most periodontal problems from deep persistent pocketing to peri-implantitis and a multitude of conditions in between. Have cold sores? We can inhibit the cycle of the virus and sometimes even prevent them from occurring. Do you have a snoring or CPAP problem? Through the amazing healing power of light, we can treat tissues inside the mouth without anesthesia, appliances, or cutting, so that after just one treatment, most people sleep better and quieter that same night. By using the power of the laser intraorally, we can also smooth facial wrinkles and tighten sagging necklines, all without you having to be numb, and there's no downtime. It can even be done on a lunch break. Through the FDA-approved Power of Light, these treatments and many more are now available at Northern Nevada Family Dental in Sparks. Have I piqued your interest? Give us a call at 626-7772 or visit us at northernnevadafamilydental.com.
You hear it all the time. Buy local, think local, eat local, choose local, grow local. But who the heck really is local? You can shop with locals at the Nevada Marketplace in the Reno Town Mall and search for locals at buynevadafirst.com. We're all local all the time.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. I'm here to warn you about telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Some of these scammers may say threatening things like you will be arrested if you don't make payments or provide personal information. Do not fall for these tricks. These calls are not from us. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you for information or money. If you receive a call like this, hang up. Never give the caller your personal information, like your Social Security number or bank account, or send money in any form, cash, gift cards, wire transfers, or prepaid debit cards. Report the call to our law enforcement arm, the Office of the Inspector General at oig.ssa.gov. Share this information with your friends and family.
The all-volunteer nonprofit Assistance League, Reno Sparks, is working to improve lives in Washoe County. Annually, they help preschoolers and foster children receive books and special treats, including one-on-one attention. Through their project Links to Learning, teachers can provide extra academic experiences for their students. These activities are funded by Assistance League Thrift Shop at 1701 Vassar Street in Reno. Open 10 to 4, Monday through Saturday.
If you see activity that seems suspicious, threatening, or criminal in nature, please speak up and say something. Anonymously report suspicious activity online at keepnevadasafe.org. Sponsored by a grant from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and Nevada Department of Public Safety. Learn more at keepnevadasafe.org.
GreatBasinHighway.com, Great Basin Highway Magazine, radio show. Visit GreatBasinHighway.com and sign up for a free online subscription to our magazine.
To join the conversation, call 844-790-TALK. That's 844-790-8255. Now back to the show.
And we're back for the fourth and final segment of About Town Deb, the city talk. It goes way too fast. So I always do a shout out before. I don't want to forget Grandma B and Aunt Glenda. Thank you for being amazing, amazing, amazing. I always want to give them a shout out. It's kind of like, is it Carol Burnett who used to do this or something?
Yes.
I just go out and say it. So thank you for always supporting me and being an amazing family. So wineries, we did that's for El Dorado here. We got Deb here. Deb, why don't you tell us about Crystal Basin? You got your wine, you got yours here. So tell us about.
So we're going to be featuring the Barbera for the samples, the Sierra. And we've got two different Barberas. We've got our Reserve, which is awesome. And we're highlighting that one at 200 a case or 120 for a half a case, but everybody needs
You need a whole
case. You need the whole case. And for those of you that are true Barbera lovers, we have our Vintner Select, and that's what we call our red cap wine. And that is what Mike, our winemaker, would consider his best of the best. It always comes from a single vineyard, and it's usually a limited lot size. And it's quite yummy.
Quite yummy?
Quite yummy. So that one at $300 a case is a really great deal because it normally retails for $50 a bottle. So if you're a Barbera lover, make that reservation and come on in and see us, and we'll pour some for you.
Okay, well, I'm just going to kind of come around. I don't know if you guys can still see me, so feel free to shout out. Okay. So Nello, the great father, Crystal Basin is actually we're at Crystal Basin. Nello Lebo is right next on Highway 50. And they also have Nello Lebo Winery and Highway 50 Brewery. And I mentioned that because Nello has gone in with the brewery and they have this new Cali Mojo. So I say I'm in Cali getting my mojo on. So this is Cali Mojo, which is great. So you got to follow us to find out about that. So Nello is going to be doing specials on cases as well as providing their cellar tastings.
Correct.
With the Great Father. So that's what they're doing. Then we already went to Crystal Basin. Boger, so they weren't able to be here today. They're going to be doing specials as well, but I'm very glad that they were able to drop a bottle off so that, let me just give you a little look-see here. Their labels are always so elegant, and you haven't been to Boger, you definitely need to. Is it like the oldest or second oldest winery?
I think it's the oldest.
It's the oldest winery, and such family tradition, and oh my gosh, you'll love them. And then Fiddleton. So we've got 4 different reds from Fiddleton, and they are offering some cool specials as well. And if you go in person, if you're able to do that, I want to say they're offering some tastings. So you get the tastings and some really good deals. And also, if you order online, there's even better deals.
Yes.
So they made sure. So then we come on over in Santebo. Santebo is in Fairplay. So we do have Element 79 is also in Fairplay, and they're a part of it as well. And they, Santebo, they're going to be doing some special tastings as well. And you may get some charcuterie specials, and the views are spectacular. And there are plenty of places to go and be social distancing in the shade. And Chateau de Val is in the Carson Road area as well. They weren't able to make it today. And Skinner would be considered a fair play as well, right?
Yes.
So beautiful views as well. I think I hit all the El Dorado wineries that are a part of it. If I missed one, I apologize. I know there's a couple in Amador as well. So there's a kind of wine for everybody. And believe me, guys, these wineries are open. And Deb, say a little bit about why it's so important and what they've gone through with the fires and the smoke. And
yeah, so it's been a little bit of a shock to our system because forever we've been able to have all of you guys just come right on into the tasting room, and we could cram as many people as we possibly could at that wine bar. And we're having to do things a little bit different. So with the help of all of you guys out there, what we're doing is accepting reservations. We're keeping everybody socially distanced. When we do serve the wine to you, everybody will be masked up and sterilized and sanitized and all that good stuff. And we just want to make sure that everybody gets a really great experience when they come out to see us. You do have to do a little bit more footwork on your end by making the reservation. But as Debbie was mentioning, so many of these wineries are so close to each other. You can just park once and go to 4 wineries.
yeah, especially on Carson Road. You can just park and go. And when you go to Fairplay, there's a whole cluster, I don't know if that's the right word to use, where you can go and literally spend a day and you can go. And then there's Pleasant Valley, where you have Sierra Vista and you have Holly's Hill. There's a few Miraflores. Oh my gosh. Narrowgate. So really, guys, there's a good way to do it. But for this one, sample the Sierra, we have plenty to pick from. And guess what? The Grapefather's coming over.
All right.
So, we're going to because we're getting, come on, Nello, get over. So the Grapefather. So since we're still on wine.
Let's get some real.
Come on, Nello. So Nello Olivo, as we mentioned, is the Grapefather. Come on. Come on.
How are you?
We got to be on schedule. So this is the Grapefather, Nello Olivo. Hi. Mwah. Okay.
I watched you last night at Spook House.
Yeah, I know. I was at the Carey
You were
House.
at the Spook House.
We were at the Carey House last night with no power.
No, you guys go walking around.
So Nello, thank you.
I don't believe in those. You know that.
If you guys have not met the Grapefather, you're in for a treat. So
Come
Nello,
on over. Come
on over. So Nello, we mentioned, I told him that I like to go to Caddy and get my mojo on.
That's right. You come to our place and get your mojo. You ask for where's my mojo? And we'll give it to you. And we can. We'll give you mojo.
Tell us about this. I didn't tell them what was in there. You tell them what was in there.
There's juice in here.
Well, what kind of juice?
That's actually made. This is a product that Gary, my brewmaster, and I put together about 2 years ago. We've been working on it, trying to get a recipe going that would be not sweet, not so syrupy sweet, but just really good. And it came from an idea that we had when we were in, what is it?
Don't ask me.
Oh, come on. That place on the other side of the
Somewhere
world.
in Italy, right?
Not Italy.
No, I don't know.
Spain.
Spain. I don't know. Hola.
Bilbao, Spain.
There you
That's where we are. That's where our family's from. And we went there. We sampled this, and we thought it was pretty good. And then a relative from Bilbao came to stay with us. Why don't you do this? Mixing a bunch of stuff with as the younger kids do in those places. And I said, it's interesting, but it's yucky. It's very syrupy. It was syrupy. I said, we could take this concept, and make a terrific product. So Gary and I have been working on it.
A couple years, right?
A couple of years. That's how I met Gary. He was a wine club member. And I said, I wanted to do this product, but it needed to be, needed to have some carbonation to it. And I didn't know how to do that. And Gary did. He says, well, I know how to do it. And I said, okay. So we got together. And I said, I have this place up here we're building. And I think we're going to put a brewery
in there.
And he was, well, I'm a brewmaster. I said, okay.
And he wears a kilt, too.
And he wears a kilt. And he said the right things to my wife, who's the one that always gives approval. And I said the right things to her, and it came out really good. So we've been working on it for a couple of years, trying to get the right combination, of Tempranillo, 4 parts Tempranillo, and another part that would be ginger, that we actually slice the ginger with, and we boil and reduce, and we do all this stuff. We have some other components to it, and we came up with this that is just a delightful thirst quencher.
Yes.
It's a great thing.
Okay.
The problem is, it's still 6.5%, 7% alcohol.
So it's kind of friendly.
It's like a beer.
Let's kind of sip it. So listen, we're running out of time. We want to make sure we talk about.
I just got here.
I know.
Extend the time.
Because I can't.
You can do anything.
I can do anything. But before I do
what do you need?
Okay, I want to make sure, Emily, you just stay right here by me. Emily, tell us again where we find out everything we know about Sample the Sierra.
SampleTheSierra.com. Easy.
Okay.
Including Nello's special that he's offering for the week.
Yes. So Nello's special. You get to sample this, but you're also going to get some case specials on some of your wine.
100%.
Not 100% off.
100%. Oh, wow.
I'll be in trouble. No.
I know.
We all heard that.
The best part is the Great Father is a gift in itself. Okay, guys, just to come up and see Nello. Dean, quickly give us your website for Poor Reds.
That's easy. PourReds.com.
Okay, so I'm going to thank you guys, and I'm sure that Mike Perrin, we had an amazing time judging together. Not judging. Hold on. MC, the judges were amazing. So please check Facebook, check the website. You can go to About Town Deb on my Facebook page. I'll be sharing a lot. I've done some interviews with the wineries. We'll be posting those. Next week, I am going to be at the Engine 8 Urban Winery in Sparks for My Hometown Heroes. We have a 3-hour special, and they do a lot for young adults that have had brain cancer, and we get scholarships to go to college, back to college. So, you know me, About Town Deb, I'm always supporting as many people as I can. I want to thank Emily again for everything she does for your whole crew. I want to thank Nello for always supporting us.
Do I?
Yes, you
Oh,
did.
that's great.
And thank Dean. I will see Dean later.
I'm always talking.
Better tonight, yeah.
So I love you guys. It is About Town Deb. I will see you next week at Engine 8 Urban Winery. Until then, follow me at About Town Deb on all my platforms. I love y'all. Have a good day.
Matthew.
Huh? Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I just need you to listen to me.
I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. I hear you. And what you say really does matter to me.
I mean, let's be honest. No kid likes rules, but I get why we have them. I hear you, and I know it's because you care.
All the